Sorry, my phone stopped recording for a second there. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I'll do. I'll splice them both together. It'll be part 1, part 2. Who gives a shit? Anyways, we're just gonna do one chapter because I'm dicking around too much. Maybe next time we'll be a little bit faster. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just do one chapter at a time. How many chapters are there even? Oh my god, there's probably gonna be way too many fucking chapters, aren't there? Am I about to have like a whole 50 YouTube videos because of this? Huh? Challengers? By the way, I don't give two shits about spoilers, so epilogue. There's epilogues and then there's challengers. Okay. 41 chapters. It is 500 pages long. Alright, cool. Anyways. A chapter a night. Maybe in a month. Where were we? Alright. Alright. Tem had to laugh at that. She doubted Vera was stupid enough not to take the infertility herb, considering how much sex she had on a weekly basis. All the girls took it, including Tem. Why? She's not sexually active and she's taking an infertility herb? God knows. Although it wouldn't matter during the training, it was impossible to become pregnant for Basilisk. This is really shitty foreshadowing. She's obviously going to get pregnant. Cool. At least, that's what everyone says. That you can't get pregnant by a Basilisk. But the same stories had circulated the village for years now, that in extremely rare cases, it was possible to get pregnant with a Basilisk. And, if it were to happen, the baby would be an abomination of nature, half human, half basilisk. Oh, monsters, forever caught between the two species, never fully fitting in either. Ah, the drama. But that was nonsense. Nobody Tem knew had ever met such a creature, and there was no reason to believe the rumors. She's gonna get pregnant. There's gonna be issues with the child. Blah, 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 blah. This is gonna be dope. Gabriel's voice pulled her from her musings. Who do you think will win? Tem looked at him. Win what? The princess hand in marriage, of course. The princess hand in marriage, of course. Who will be the lucky lady? Tem found it telling that he didn't automatically assume it would be her. Even her best friend had no faith in her abilities. What abilities? You've never had sex or a virgin. You don't have abilities. What abilities? She could only answer with the truth. Vera, the only character we know of. We have her, our main character, Mom, the so-called Basilisk, the best friend, Gabriel, and Vera. So that's the only, antagonist. This is just, oh yeah, Dios mío. It's like I said, they wrote a porn. They wrote plot for porn and wrote it down, turn into a book. Oh yeah. Okay. She could only answer with the truth. Vera. She doesn't even need the training. The slut shaming. Gabriel said thoughtfully, taking a sip of his beer. She's too easy. Men don't like that. They want you to be experienced. They want you to have fucked multiple times because they're going to choose whether you're the best lay. But also they don't like it when you, Dios. Or maybe when they mean too easy, she's not a challenge, which is even more gross. All of it, just, no. She's too easy. Men don't like that. Tem cocked an eyebrow at Jonathan, whose hands were unashamedly down the front of Vera's dress. It would seem that men do. That's not a man, Tem. That's a boy. Tem could hardly tell the difference. Who do you think will win? Gabriel shrugged. You, of course. Tem blinked. Maybe he did believe in her after all. You must be joking. I don't know where that came from. You must be joking. I'm not. Why shouldn't the prince choose you? I can think of 100 reasons why. Name one. Tem could have listed them all. But she chose the most obvious. I'm inexperienced. That's what the basilisk is for. Anything. It was the conversation at the bakery all over again. Tem bristled. I know what the basilisk is for. Ding! But even if I learned everything there is to learn, I'll never look like that. She jerked her hand at Vera, who was barely distinguishable from Jonathan, because, you know, they've turned into one whole shape. Gabriel scoffed. If you ever look like that, I'd never hang out with you anymore. I would be too jealous of the competition. She shot him a glance. Be serious, Gabriel. I am serious, Tim. You're too hard on yourself. You're a catch. It doesn't count when you say it. Does it count when old Steve says it? Because I'm sure he would if we asked him. Tim resisted the urge to pour her beer on his lap. The prince has to think I'm a catch, and I can assure you he won't. Gabriel tapped her twice on the nose. You'll never land a man with that attitude. The prince is hardly a man. Why do you say that? What do you mean? She grumbled, swatting at his hand. The prince was 20 years old. Okay, Jesus Christ. That's what I'm like. The prince was 20 years old, just like Tim. Only girls born in the same year as the prince were eligible for the training. Why? We don't know. We never get told. She'd never seen the prince up close, although if Vera's bullshit story about running into him in the town square was to be believed, his eyes were green. How would... Tem didn't believe the story, and she definitely didn't care what color his eyes were. Only how big his dick is! Okay. It could be worse, you know, Gabriel said. What could? The training. At least the prince will make his choice based on who he likes in bed. If it were based on other skills, you'd have no chance at all. This is awful. So she's virgin, never slept with anybody. And you're saying that she has even less skills than that. And this is your best friend. Oy, Dios mío, what are friends for? Tem frowned. What other skills? Oh, I don't know. Cooking, for example. Cooking? I've had your shepherd's pie, Tem. He wrinkled his nose. Gamey. I love the character that I've created with this voice. Thankfully, at that moment, Peter walked through the door. Gabriel leaped to his feet, adjusting his jacket and running a hand through his hair. Duty calls, he said, before making a beeline for the stable boy. Jesus. After that, there was nothing left for Tem to do but watch Vera and Jonathan test the bounds of what was appropriate to do in public. 2 beers later, Tem was ready to go. True to her word, she wasn't home late. But the cottage was quiet when she arrived, her mother already in her room, probably asleep in anticipation of an early morning on the farm. Tem washed her face in the bathroom before crawling into her bed and started once more at the ceiling. Staring once more at the ceiling. Sorry, that's a word that always catches me. Usually, she would touch herself before falling asleep. Just the contrast, the virginhood, the, childlike almost thoughts, and then the oh, but I fuck myself every day. What the fuck? Usually she would touch herself before falling asleep, but the thought of meeting the basilisk tomorrow was so intimidating that she couldn't even do that. She tossed and turned violently, unable to sleep, unable to settle. When she finally slept, she dreamt of fire. It didn't burn her. Rather, it warmed her gently from the tips of her toes to the base of her skull. The fire felt familiar somehow, as if it were sent by someone she had known a long time ago. If this is some kind of, what do they call it? The imprinting bullshit, they say fated mates, but oh, I've known you since you were a chat. No. Flames licked her fingers, her palms, the freckledy ones, her arms. A single breath brushed her cheek. Then it was over. The next morning dawned like any other. Fuck you, morning. Anyways. Tem went about her chaos. damn, the gummies are hitting hard. Sorry. Okay. Tem went about her chores, delivering her eggs and helping her mother in the kitchen just as she always did. But in the back of her mind was the constant knowledge that in less than 12 hours, she would be she would be face to face with a basilisk. By the time evening arrived, okay, well, that was pointless to give me that. Just transition to the next day in that time period, but whatever. By the time evening arrived, she was taking her angst out on the potatoes. Fucking potatoes. Careful, Tem, her mother said. You're going to cut yourself. A cut was the least of Tem's problems. She threw down the knife in exasperation. I'm not ready, Mom. Mother, she said. How will I know what to do? That's just gonna... Mom, how do I fuck somebody? Just... Ah! How will I know what to do? Her mother sighed, brushing her hair from her face. You will learn what to do. The basilisk will teach you. Ding! What if I'm inadequate? All girls are inadequate when they go into the caves. Just... this whole conversation. Not all girls, Mom muttered, thinking of Vera with Jonathan. Trust me, my dear. You will do just fine. You will suck that dick like a queen. Tem sighed. It was no use. Her mother simply didn't... I can't... Oh my Jesus Christ. Alright. Get it together. We don't have that much fucking... Okay. Tem sighed. It was no use. Her mother simply didn't understand. Tem had absolutely everything to fear. Inadequacy was but a single feather on the wings of her insecurities. I can't. The personification or objectification of her insecurities. No, this is worse than the inner goddess of 50 Shades of Grey. Just no. Tem couldn't imagine a scarier scenario than the one she was about to experience. And yet, the dream ran through her mind. If what awaited her in the caves was anything like what had happened in the dream, she knew she had no reason to fear. I can't. It's just fire! Sorry, I'm trying to get my water because I'm running out of a voice and I need some chocolate. And I need to pee. Hold on. 1 second.